Hey, what's up, Internet? If you're just joining us now, welcome to the shittiest day of the year. Yeah. Hopefully, you didn't get as hammered as I did. And hammered usually is a good thing, but not in this case. So, right now, I'm long 275,000 shares of UVXY, trying to make a penny. It's my life right now. It's fantastic. We'll go into the utter disgusting details of what happened this morning in a second. But yeah, it's a day like today where if you get one winning trade, shut your computer off and run because that's going to be it. I'm 0 for 5 right now. I haven't started a day 0 for 5 in a long time. I don't even remember the last time. But man, every trade I had on turned into a loss. And I'm assuming this UVXY trade's going to turn to a loss too. But man, this is some choppy bullshit going on right now, my friends. And it's important to understand you're going to have days like this. There hasn't been too many. But you got to be able to survive days like this. And some people, we used to get bent. Some people would get bent out of shape when I would say, "Hey, you know what? This is not a great day for trading. Maybe we don't do." Hey, wait a minute, man! I thought you were the best trader ever. Why come you can't trade? Well, there's certain environments that are not conducive to the trade that we like. But you said you're the best. You should be able to trade anywhere. No, well, I could trade most days, sir. Stop getting so aggravated. It's just one day. We've had a pretty damn good year. This is one of the first choppy mornings we've had all year. Well, you said you could. All right. If you're that person, you're never going to make money. There are days where it's not working, right? We used to say phasers are set to kill today. You could take a couple of stuns, but when phasers are set to kill, it's hard. You're not getting any follow through. It's just excessive chop. So even when you're a winner, you go to milk that trade, it not only becomes a bad idea, or you take a winning trade and turns into a loss, kind of like what we've been witnessing so far today, which is this rigatoni, which hammered me. I got a faux show bro VWAP break. Here I'm thinking, let's go. I added to it and it crushed. And I was like, all right, you're going to faux show bro me again? All right, faux show bro. I buy it. And I got slammed. And of course, this faux show bro I didn't participate in because that's the kind of day it is. And then you had ASTS, which was pretty freaking hurtful. And again, this is partially on me. I chose to add to positions today for the first time of the year. I usually sell the first move, take my profit, and then giggle my way to the bank. No, but today I was like, you know what? I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to buy more on the way up because this thing just did a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, the trade that never fails. And it didn't. So why did it roll over and die with me in it? Because I stink. So I got a little bit here, bought a little bit here, and then it broke 70 and a half. And I'm thinking, here we go. And it did go. So I'm thinking 72.50. And then next thing you know, smack, smoked, destroyed. I'm destroyed. So that absolutely lit my ass up. Normally, I'm a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal winner. I'm taking my profit and saying, hey, that trade always works. And it did. But I chose to add to it up here. And that was a freaking really terrible, horrifying choice, as well as my open trade, which I decided to short because I thought, all right, little pullback, little rollover, let me get short, then it breaks 8, so I add to it, and then it faux show bros, and I'm forced to cover for a loss. So that's the kind of morning it's been, and even this UVXY is turning out to be a loss. So I'm basically 0 for 6 right now, and there's going to be a point where I'm going to have to call it because it usually gets worse for me. And it's just when you're not feeling it, it's not even not about feeling it today. this market sucks this morning. There has just been excessive chop. And it was amazing that I chose today for the first time, maybe in the last, I don't know, 10 years, where I didn't take the quick money. I'm all about the quick money. Hey, free money. Let's go. This trade always works. All right, here's your $400. Let's take it and move on. Nah. So this time, the first time in a long time, I didn't take my nice, quick $300-400 profits. I turned them all into $2,000 losses. Sick. I'm a very, 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 very cursed person. That's why it's not me, it's the trade. You don't want to follow what I'm doing. You certainly don't want to be following me today. But if you took the quick profits, none of this is your problem. This is my problem. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's best to learn what to do, and then you could adjust your risks on your own, because everybody's risk parameters are different, right? Because, man, these trades, they worked. I mean, that rigatoni trade, it worked earlier. I got exactly what I wanted. Fake them out, shake them out, fake them out, shake them out, and then a fake them out, shake them out VWAP break. And I just got very excited. And I saw the orange line up there. I'm thinking, let's go. And I got freaking hammered. And I should have taken my loss. I should have eaten the whole thing right there. But I was like, yeah, let me go see what happens. Well, hopefully it'll hold the 31.78. Nope. Well, hopefully it holds the 31.43. Nope, nope. And then I had to dump it right here. Got smoked. It's amazing, my timing. Like I've been saying for the last 20 years, if you've known me. When I stick to my plan, like NVTS, right? I goofed around with NVTS on Friday, right? What did I do? It would be ironic. You know, now that the stock's crashed, maybe I'll just buy it and hold on to some. So I did, but I bought 200 shares at 736, and I held it over the weekend. It opens up. Even that trade, I kind of blew that one too, because I sold it at the open, and it turned out to be a pretty good trade yesterday. I sold it over here and wound up going up to 1050 inevitably. But if I would have bought 17,000 shares at $7.30 and held that over the weekend, this company would have went out of business. That's my luck. I take small size, I do my quick hits and make money. Anything else I do is wrong. It's very, very strange. Take my size up, that trade ain't working. And it's not that I, freak out because I have more size on. It's just I seem to always ruin trades when I add to them or take a little bit more size than I normally would. It's very, very bizarre. So that's why if you learn how to trade and you're thinking, hey, you got a faux show, bro, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. How are you not making money today? Because that was me up here adding to it like a crazy person. Then again, it wasn't crazy at the time. I felt pretty good about it. And then 7 minutes later, you see what happened. So now I'm going to eat a bagel and try to pretend none of this happened. Wow. So if you do know me, you know that I have a hard time pretending, right? So when I'm having a bad day, everyone's going to hear about it. And you can learn from it. And also, if I don't talk about it, I'll get a tumor. You got to let it go. Oh, by the way, if you're off put by my honesty, that's your problem. Somebody once said to me, he's like, maybe you shouldn't talk about your losses. You know, you're supposed to be this all knowing guru that we all learn from. And it's like, nah, that's completely irresponsible, my friend. He's like, the loss is the way you learn, learning what you did wrong, addressing what you did wrong, learning from your mistakes. That's how you learn how to trade. So here's one that was working. Let's see if it's still working. Well, nope. But hey, there you go. If you followed the rules on this one, you actually made money, right? Well, the last one worked. Faux show, bro. It got to where you wanted it to go. You sold it, and then you're forced to sell the rest. Not bad, but this is what I'm saying. You're not getting that follow through that we're normally used to, where you come out of these patterns, usually rally back to VWAP and then break and start ripping. Yeah, maybe next year we take this day off too. Actually, that probably has something to do with it. Maybe lack of volume. They set the algorithms to chop. I wish the market was closed today. It should be. It should be closed on Veterans Day. It should be closed on Election Day too. It should be closed the day after the Super Bowl as well. More importantly, is anybody watching Pluribus? I heard it's some crazy show by the maker from the guy who did Breaking Bad on Apple TV. Yeah. I heard it's crazy. What is it? Supernatural? Uh-oh. I just spotted something going to happen. Well, if it's anything like Severance, I'm not watching it because I tried to watch that show 3 different times. Anyway, rigatoni's starting to work here. It took all freaking morning. All right, well, there's your fake out, shake out, VWAP break. All right, well, it's finally getting you something out of it. Sell it. Sell 90% of it because this day stinks. So if you're getting paid on anything, you got to sell most of it and put a tight stop on because it's the only way to avoid this chop. Breaking Bad, but end of the world vibes. Yeah, I kind of got a sense of like that Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke show where the electric cars come to life and try to kill you. And then, well, the power went off. They were in that house. Yeah, King of Tulsa. Now there's some fun. And Mayor of Kingstown. Anything that guy makes is great. Taylor Sheridan. Hey, speaking of trades that don't suck, there you go. V-Wave. Yeah. Nice buy on dip, right? Anybody get back in with those 1250s or the 10s? I should actually trade this stock more often. I haven't lost money on it once, and actually, every time I've sold it, the stock actually has gone down to give me another chance to get back in. And this time I didn't do it because I didn't really want to start putting positions on again. But it's about to break all-time highs again. But very, very good dip buyer. Well, there went most of that UVXY trade. See ya. Wow. I'm 0 for 6 now. What a day. Wow. Also, with this lack of energy in the UVXY, even on a down day, S&P's down, Q's are down. I mean, the Dow's up a little bit. UVXY is telling us that this market's never going down. Ever. It really is. But when I talk about, the casino, when you walk into the casino, this trade that we have works so well. It's like the pit boss telling you to come over to the table and telling you what numbers are going to hit on the roulette table. Today's the kind of day where the guy, you walk into the casino, he's like, yeah, you might want to just go see the show. Well, I was thinking I'd play pet. Nah, you don't want to. You might just want to go to the bar or hang out. Well, go watch some sports or something. Well, I was thinking about betting some. No, you might not want to bet the roulette table today, sir. What about blackjack? No, you got no chance there either. But if you finally did buy rigatoni, right, and you got yourself a faux show bro VWAP break, like I said, sell most of it now. That last attempt to sell off, that's your stop, right? And if you use the proper stop, you're still in it, right? So it's a top print. It almost got you. So now you have permission to actually hope. So now if it comes out of this little flag, you should get a move to the high of the day. And if you break the high of the day, you finally got something that's trending. And if you bought the QQQ calls, it was the only other thing that we were thinking about doing because UVXY obviously is not going up. And the market had sold off, and we all know the market doesn't go down anymore. So there's your fake out, shake out on the Qs. You're a VWAP break away from possibly some more. But in this environment that we're in right now, you got to be selling like 80% as it gets to VWAP. Put your stop close, and now you can hope for more. You don't want to get chopped up. No, I like to buy the fake out, shake out back above the shakeout part. So, for instance, the Qs, right? Here's your low. I mean, there's the first faux show, bro. I want to try to buy like the core weave. The only core weave long that worked was under 90, fake them out, shake them out. I'm buying the spot right here, anticipating VWAP retrace first. So I'm trying to get a head start on the trade, and then if it breaks VWAP, you're getting paid a lot more. You still can buy the VWAP break, but today's not the greatest day. That's why I try to get a head start. For instance, here, fake them out, shake them out. You're a buyer of core weave already. So now you're in this move here. You're buying it. You're still a buy. Now, on the good days, which today kind of not so far, you faux show, you get back to VWAP, you consolidate there, and then you break. Today, we're just getting chop. But if you get a head start on the trade, see, I bought the breaks today, and that was sort of not good. I mean, I turned winning trades into losing trades, which is on my, it's, again, it's my fault. But yeah, this core weave is already a buy. So now you're looking for it to break this triple top, revert back to VWAP, which would still be a sell. On the way there, you're selling 92.50 because that's where it broke down from. And then if you get through 92.50, you get the full retrace. And then remember, the algos do a lot of work at the VWAP. They'll get there. Sometimes they immediately get rejected and they roll over. A lot of times you get a new algo where it makes a new decision at VWAP. And then you get that shuffle and the jiggle, boo, breaks above the VWAP, tests it from on top, then you're good. If it breaks the VWAP, rolls back over, breaks that prior candle, that's the finger of God. You got to get out of your position and possibly even go short. And right now, like I said, this market made a fool out of me today for sure. So if I was in any trades right now, you got to trade the chop. So you have to assume when you get the tops of the ranges, that might be all she got for you. So you got to be selling a lot of it. put stop in, hope to turn. But if it doesn't turn, you got to get out of the rest. It's just a very choppy, awful morning so far, you know. This was actually one of the better trades because it was a gapped up stock that broke VWAP at the open. You got paid, and then you got confirmation of weakness. But that confirmation of weakness now. So here you go. Here's that situation. So there's the fake out. Shake them out. So the buy right here was confirmed. Break of the range. VWAP retrace. Break. Pulls back. Holds. Now you got, if you were long NBIS, you definitely are staying long now. And that double bottom candle area right there, that's your out. Your next target's the orange line. Yeah, it's a lot more fun playing shuffleboard on the Lido deck today. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to dig out of the hole. I might not even try because I'm just on the wrong side of most of the trades today. Oh, then again, I blew the day because I didn't take the quick profit. It's on me. See that rigatoni move? That's why you got to know what you're in store for today. If you don't take your profits today, you're going to give them all back and then some. So it's a little different today. Phasers are set to kill instead of stun. You could take a couple of stun guns to the skull and manage to fight your way through it. You don't take your profits today, they're becoming losses, which is irresponsible. Normally, I don't mind the chop because I usually sell into the move, and then I'm happy that it chops back the other direction. I just, for some reason, I chose to get aggressive today. It's just tragic. But it's only one day. I mean, this has been the greatest year of trading in the history of mankind. Last Friday was legitimately the best. It was a faux show, bro, holiday. The entire market faux show, bro, across the board. One stock after another, after sector. It was like a rolling faux show, bro. And you're witnessing why I'm staying out of this freaking market right now. See that? That right there. Well, I guess if UVXY goes to $11 now, I'll make some of my money back now that I have only a couple of thousand shares left out of my stupid amounts that I had. I mean, I had to get out at 05. I'm not going to let it turn into a loss. But I still got some. But it's been almost, I mean, this is what this day's all about right here. Trying to make a nickel on UVXY. But there you go, rigatoni. That is what this day has been all about. If you don't take that money, you're going to give it all back and then some. Wow. It really is Phaser's set to kill today, man. Speaking of rigatoni, you know what I just witnessed? You know what I just saw in the corner of my eye? Rig is at $4.30. Last time I saw the stock was $1.80. Wow. This piece of garbage actually. Wow. That's actually a pretty monstrous break there. Get ready to short this thing in the next couple of days. Every time the stock's tried to break out in the last 20 years, it's given it all back. This time is different. Uh-huh. My favorite Trek series? You should know that. There is only one.
Space, the final frontier.
I'm a Shatner guy. And I watched the other last night. The other night was the episode when they were kind of all tripping. Not the tripping one. There was an episode where they were smelling the flowers and they actually were tripping, where Sulu was with the sword. This was the Alice in Wonderland episode. But fast forward 3,000 years, I love Discovery. Where they were tripping on mushrooms. The ship was actually tripping on mushrooms and would be able to fold space. And they went like 3,000 years into the future. Right? Was it with Burnham, the girl that was in Walking Dead? I like most of the Star Treks. I didn't watch the series with the Ferengi and all that. Kind of didn't like it. All the Picards were great. The new Star Trek's pretty good also. Strange New Worlds. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ah, you know the mushroom ship. Yes. I mean, they really went a little bit over, again, with society and the transgender thing. They had to write that transgender character into the show. They really stretched it to a little bit too far there. Just like every other show. Quick, we got to write a transgender character into our show because that's the thing now. And I was like, come on, guys. But it was always that type of show anyway. But man, they really just dug too deep with that character. They split the character, literally split into two. It was a little weird for me. But yeah. I could watch the old Star Treks any day. Because it also brings back my childhood sitting there with my dad watching it on Channel 11. When Vic Tayback was in it, when he played the gangster, he got some nice heaters there. Yeah, see? When they're all dressed as gangsters from the 20s. Oh, man. It's the best. I love all the movies, too. I don't care. I love the whale one. Everybody says that was the worst movie ever. Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock. I loved them all. I even liked the first movie. We are Beeger. I thought it was cool. When they went back in time, they had to get the guy to invent warp drive. That was awesome. When they went to the Nexus with the guy from Clockwork Orange, awesome. Picard and Shatner got the team up. All right. The fact that you mentioned the Vic Tayback, do you know that reference because of me? Because I've been saying that for years. I was like, why is James Brown singing about Vic Tayback? The Vic Tayback. That's funny. You probably got that from me. So yeah, better off talking about Star Trek for the next 4.5 hours and putting money to work today. This is awful. And that Shatner, which was awesome. I met Nichelle Nichols. I was wearing a T-shirt with her face on it. She got a real kick out of that. Shatner told me to shut up and sit down, which was awesome. I was late to the Q&A. I came into this auditorium. Everybody was already seated, and he had just started talking. And I came in. I peeked my head in the door, and Shatner yells at me, "Yeah, you're in the right place. Shut up. Sit down." Woo. And then when I got him to sign my autograph, I told him to sign it. Kenny, get a life. You know that reference? When he was on Saturday Night Live. I've got one thing to say. Get a life. Yeah, V-Wave. Yeah. It's one of my only swing trades I got right lately. It looks great, actually. The V-Wave. Once you get over 15, you could really get something going here. Plus, every dip has been a buy, which is very, very super, super bullish. And the options are fairly cheap still, because nobody trades them. We bought the March 1250s. This all started with remember that? I mean, I could not believe how cheap these options were. And they were so mispriced that the March 1250s were cheaper than the December 1250s, which mathematically made no sense. That's why I immediately bought the March 1250s. When this thing first came out with options, they were completely mispriced. This thing looked like it was a coiled spring ready to rip. The $10 calls were 20 cents. It was insane. They went to $1.80 the next day. And the stock only went up like 60 cents because they caught the anomaly. Yeah, Shatner. I brought up a TJ Hooker reference and he laughed. But I could say I've had some good run-ins with famous people. I was always in I used to do baseball card shows. I met a million players, and I was in the TV industry for a while and working on award shows. I met a lot of cool people. No, I'm sitting here just licking my wounds today. Yeah, this has been a freaking horrifying morning, and I can't get out. I can't even dig myself out because there's nothing going on. So I just got to eat it. Yeah, I shorted open. I lost. It was one of my trades. Yeah, I was in RGTI, ASTS, Open, and UVXY. What a freaking banger of a day. Normally, this would actually have been a good day because all the trades worked. I just didn't take my profits today like I normally do. I just chose poorly. He chose poorly. Best $20 I ever spent right here. Oh, yeah? Why don't you guys give me something to do today? Because I'm hurting. I mean, I haven't lost this kind of money day trading in a day. I don't know when the last time I got smoked like this. I mean, I do. I mean, it wasn't really a day trade, but I never lose this type of money intraday. It's amazing. It is kind of amazing. I don't know whether you guys believe in the afterlife, but I hope something exists so somebody could explain to me why all this stuff kept happening to me. Maybe it's the aliens fucking with me. I think that's what it really is. It's got to be. You guys want to go down a Shatner rabbit hole? Get alive. I set face to the sun. You guys see right there, I have an entire shelf that's all Star Trek Migos. Original Spock. Kirk socks. I got everything. What I don't have is any money today. It would be nice. I mean, right now I'm over 6. I've told this tale a bunch of times. I once won 0 for 15, right? But my losses were small. And at the end of the day, I hit a couple of good trades and basically went like 2 for 17 on the day. But it turned out to be a pretty good day because those last 2 trades were awesome. I don't know if I'm going to be able to dig out of the hole today because my losses were substantial. This stock, I can't believe it hasn't crashed yet. So this is a pump and dump from earlier. And I don't know. It doesn't look like it wants to die. So if you are to start yourself or a kid on Star Trek, the original series, I don't know if the nostalgic notion of it will translate to a new kid, but it's such a great show and so well done for nobody would appreciate that it was made so long ago. That's what's so cool about it. But and there's just so many. I love them. The new Star Trek's good. I think the market's being messed with also because of the half of it being off. Yeah, that's got to have something to do with it. Plus, we've had such a monstrous run. It's a consolidation day. Consolidation is basically chop, and chop is not conducive to what we're doing here. And then again, it's kind of excessive chop. So if you don't know what, again, ASTS was a good trade. I just blew it. Now every time if you're choosing poorly, you're on the wrong side of all this. Sadly, I was on the right side of it, and then I added to it because down here is where I like to stop too. That's kind of why I got hammered. It had faux show bro the other day, so I thought now the earnings came out. Faux show bro earnings report. Oh man, we're definitely going to break out of here. I thought we were headed down. I thought I was ready for a 6-point trade. And I just got shitty luck, man. Everything about this trade was what I wanted to see. Earnings are done. The stock had already faux showed a couple of days ago. We got a faux show on the earnings report. How could this trade fail? And just momentum died, and just letting it fall that far. I never imagined it going back to the lows of the day. Just horrifying. I mean, wow. And good thing I ate some of the loss here, and then it's pretty freaking terrible. Seeing it'd be worse if the stock was at $74 now, but it's been a choppy mess the rest of the for the afternoon or the morning so far. But you're probably right. It probably has something to do with the bond market being closed. But if you want some free stuff, check this out. So if you guys don't have Paramount has all the best shows now, all the Tyler Sheridan stuff, right? There's a website called this. It's called lookmovie2.to. It's been around for like 4 or 5 years now. Usually they shut these sites down. It's a free streaming website. You got to sit through 1 or 2 ads. There's no porn on it, which is unique. Usually there's some sort of porn. A dildo ad will pop up. Literally, a dildo ad usually would pop up in the middle, and it's pretty bad when you're watching something with the family and a big thing comes up and you got to quickly run into the other room and shut your streaming off. This site, you search for anything you want, and it's just phenomenal because you're not downloading. It's a streaming site. And they have anything you could possibly think of. I tried to stump this thing. It's got everything, like even old movies, shows from a long time ago. And if you want to watch something brand new, it's already on here. it's probably run by some Chinese company stealing all our data, and inevitably it's gonna kill me. But it's awesome. And anything you want to watch, and I'm saying anything. It's got. I mean, I watched Tulsa King on here. You guys want something really goofy to watch? There's a great show called Resident Alien. It's the funniest show. Nobody knows about this show. It's so funny. What else was there I've been watching? Tulsa King. Oh, Landman's coming back. So if you don't have Paramount, everything's on here. You want to watch any of those Apple shows, they're on here. So anyway, Star Trek. The Voyage Home. I love The Voyage Home. Star Trek. Into Dark. I mean, everything you want. So what's the Star Trek the new series? It's on here. I watch it on here. And then I just stream it with Google. What's it called? Google Chromecast or whatever they call it now. Google screen mirroring. I screen mirror it to my TV in the other room, and boom, Bob's your uncle. Whoever Bob is. Wait a second! Did I just see Beyond Meat going by? Oh no. Somebody was buying Beyond Meat earlier. But yeah, anything you want to watch. So good. And it's HD quality, most of it. Horacle. That is a faux show, bro. By the way, this stock, this is why I'm bearish the market right now, right? See, what Horacle did was a blow off top of epic proportion. And that was 2 months ago. And that's what got me in trouble, because I started shorting the market and I got crushed again. But oh, you know what time it is, kids. You know what time it is. What just showed up? That's right. The turkey brine. Because if you don't brine your turkey, you're insane. The best brine ever. Sur le table. Or sur le table. The brine. I do it for like over 48 hours. Kenny and I went way back. He tried to teach me how to trade, but I didn't want to know. Kenny, you're crazy. My Shatner and my Walken sometimes collide. But this Oracle trade, which should have been the trade that changed my life, because I've never been more passionate about a short in a long time. Partially because my father was in it and he's still in it. And I was like, Dad, they just gapped the stock up 38%. Oracle is not the type of stock to gap up 38% on an earnings report. Sell it all right now and short it. This is the end of the bull market. And I was convinced. And then it did what I thought it was going to do. And now you've reverted back to the yearly VWAP, the biggest blow off top Jerry Orbach trade of the year. This is why I'm bearish the market right now, because I think the whole market is going to Horacle its way down. And after what Palantir did, even though it's recovered a lot of that move, and Carvana, these last two earnings reports, Carvana, Palantir, Horacle, they're showing the froth of this market. It just, we don't give way. I mean, we did, but we come back so hard that it's impossible to stay short. I just think we're going to, I don't think we're going to 535 anymore, but I do think we're going to have to do a gut check down there at the 582.50. And if that doesn't hold, I think we really could go back to the 3 month. Sorry, now it's the 9 month VWAP. So, we almost got to my 3 months. That's where I think we could go. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Oh, I mean, it always does go up inevitably. That's what's so hard about being a shorter. But that Horacle trade, man, and I am saying Horacle. Yes. Okay. All right, let's get this other party started. Hold on. Let's invite the rest of the internet to the party. Wait. Oh, hang on. I'm always so late to the party here. Hang on. Let's see if we can power 3 shows at once. Let's go. My friends over at this website. I am not using headphones. And let's see if this works, if you can hear me or not. Hello? Yeah, see, once I start running 2 things at once, I get the feedback. Yeah, I got an idea. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can run all of it at once. So I'm just going to have to sign off on the other one. If you guys hang, I could go another hour with you. Not much. Maybe something will happen while we're sitting here, but hang on a second. Oracle. Not too good today. Yeah. Oh, that's a good shot with Shatner over my shoulder. I love that. These are the days. Kenny, if you can make it through today, you can make it through anything. Your medal's being tested. Now, shut up, sit down. What I'm going to say is much more important than what you're going to say. Let it roll. I'm going to be brief today because there's really nothing going on. Sucks, yes. Yeah, it was a phenomenal gap fill. That's why I loved it. It was my favorite trade of the entire year. It was the short the Oracle. Yeah, I think it's over now. But that Oracle trade has led me to believe that the Qs could actually go down, which they don't. I'll tell that story in a second, my friend. 5.0. And we're back. The fun part about this second part of the show here is that it's just me, 2 other people are watching. Kind of reminds me of my Brooklyn College radio show. We knew nobody was listening except people in the cafeteria. We were the mighty 590 AM. So if you were walking in the neighborhood, you could actually hear the radio station. And one of our favorite, Howard Stern was on campus once, and we got him to record a PSA, not a PSA. Well, basically a cart. You're listening to Brooklyn College Radio. Yeah, you and 2 other people. But even if it's one person watching right now, I got something to tell you. Today is not a good day.
And I'm very happy to say that out loud because it starts to get a little redundant saying, today was the greatest day ever, right? No, today sucked. How about that? Right? Let's change it up a little bit. Why did today suck? Let's learn. I did find my keys. Yes. So why was today not good? Well, it's a combination. It's a combination of what is my bad luck and a choppy session. So this is ASTS. Yes, sir. Boop, 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 bang, boof. So if you guys know and you heard my stories, wish some of these were fake stories of just the most horrifying stuff that's happened to me in my career. Even just early as last year in August when I got run over by the UVXY trade, that none of that had to happen. And I was forced out of the trade by Charles Schwab. And I might be digging out of that hole for, at this pace, forever. But that's not your problem. I just have bad luck. Whenever I had size on a position, it happened to be the one time the trade didn't work. I'd go back way. Let's fast forward to today, right? So I got this trade that works every time, right? And sometimes most of the time, if you have the money, you take the money, raise your stop, lock into the trade, and everybody lives happily ever after. The trade continues to work. Sadly, today I chose to add. So, let's start with the rigatoni first. RGTI. I'm a big fan. Got a lot of us into the stock under $2. We crushed it when it broke through 20. Actually got some shorts off a couple of weeks ago. Haven't traded it since. I came in real excited about trading it today because numbers had reported. The report came out last night. Right? Let me get rid of these red lines for you. And by the way, the red lines is what I'll teach you on November 22nd on where to draw the lines when you join the class. So this is why today sucked. And again, it's the trade worked, past tense. And this is why I'm always talking about my style of trading is see the money, take the money, raise stop, lock it in. See the money, take some money, raise your stop, lock it up. You understand what that means? So if you buy something, you start making money, you take some of the money, raise your stop, and now if the trade goes against you, you still come out ahead. That's what I normally do. And this trade was awesome, right? I got a faux show bro, VWAP break on a stock that I like. Nothing better. Earnings came out, stock's down. I'm ready to rock. I come in looking to buy rigatoni. If you don't know what rigatoni, it's RGTI. Been trading the stock religiously for the last 3 years, pretty much. Now, the first thing you should say is, Kenny, how the fuck did you blow this trade? I'm thinking the same thing right now. How the fuck did I blow this trade? Let me explain. You see that orange line up there? All right, that's part of it, right? But when I say a trade works every time, when I say that, I mean it provides you a winning opportunity. You could blow that opportunity like I did today. And let me explain how. So the faux show bro right here. So you fake them out, you shake them out. It breaks a new low, breaks another new low. Then it comes back. And then right there, they try to get you again. Fake them out, shake them out. And then it breaks VWAP and it rips. In this case, you only got a mini rip. But that wasn't the one I was involved in. I actually caught the better one, right? So fake them out. It breaks a little bit lower. Shake them out. VWAP break. Range break. I'm in. So now I got triple confirmation that I'm going to be a winner. And I was a winner. So today, I'm doing my 500 shares at 32 and a quarter. Ripping. And then up here, I'm thinking orange line for sure. Possible reversal. This thing's going up 5 points today. I'm going to make 20 grand. Normally, what I do is I buy 400 shares at 32 and a quarter. By 32.50, I'm usually selling 50 shares. By 33, I'm selling another 100. And then I raise my stop. And if it rolls over, I get stopped out. Not this time. No, sir. This time, I bought 400. Yeah, all right. Look at me. And then I add 1,600 more right there to get up to 2,000 shares because I'm going to show this stock who's boss. I'm going to get this thing. I'm going to load up before it goes multi-day because when it breaks multi-day, it's going to go to $35. So I thought. And then it absolutely turns around on me where I had to eat a lot of the loss immediately because at least I had some discipline. Then it hits the VWAP and I'm like, oh God, please don't break VWAP. Oh Jesus. Oh man, I should be selling the rest. Oh, okay, I sold some. Oh, look, it's giving me the faux show. Here's where I really got my hope and I bought it back. And then it rolls over and kills me. So I took what was a wonderful $620 trade to start my day and turned it into almost like a $3,000 loss. I don't lose $3,000 intraday on trades. I never let that happen. And there it was. Oh, wait. Did I tell you this was some sort of a nightmarish kind of day? Oh, yeah. ASTS. How you like me now? How you like me now? I got me a faux show, bro. VWAP break, 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal, the trade that hasn't failed in 4 years. How'd you blow this one, Kenny? Oh, I'll show you how I blew it. Because when it faux show broed and broke over the multi-day, I'm buying. Right? And then here, where I'm normally selling at whole numbers, I'm thinking, here we go. This thing's going to 72.50. I'm going to make all that money back that I lost on. And I'm smoked. So the one day I choose to add to positions and get aggressive and not take the quick money, I turn winning trades into not just losses, into smoke jobs. Absolute annihilation. Oh, wait, there was more. And then, oh, yeah, come on, baby. I've been trading this open trade so well, I thought, you know what? Let's go the other way today. And I saw it rolling over. So I'm shorting. And I'm shorting. And right here, I'm thinking, here we go. Going to break the lows of the day. It's going back to 750. And no, in my face. Woo! Getting crushed. Hammered. At least I didn't top ticket on the way out. I got covered into this candle right here. And then to make it just to really solidify how shitty this day is, I went and bought UVXY. Because I'm thinking, oh man, this market seems kind of weak. Maybe UVXY will start to go up. And it did. And it did. And then I bought more. And then I bought a little bit more. And then I was 1 cent away from the high of the day, thinking, all right, maybe I'll get paid on something. Again, no. So what's the point? The point is you stray from the path. You got something that works. You got a style that works. Do it until you die. I went and changed my pattern today. I just didn't lose. I got hammered. Like I haven't lost this type of money in a morning in years. That's how hammered I got. And it's just so fucking bizarre. And I believe that this is where, whether you believe it or not, I'm cursed. I am the New York Jets of trading. I don't understand. I could have success. But man, when I get some shit wrong, I get it so wrong. And it's spiritual. It's otherworldly. It's demented. It's matrix. It can't be real. But, oh, I look at my P&L. Oh, it's real. It's real. They went that Iceland trip out the window. And it's just unbelievable how unlucky I could be. Because let me tell you, if I would have done this type of trading yesterday or the day before or 2 weeks ago or any other day, except for today, I'd be up 20 grand today. If this was Friday, last Friday, I'd be up $1 million. That's how great Friday was. If you were buying dips on Friday, you got paid. You couldn't lose on Friday. Today, I chose to get a little aggressive, and I got absolutely chopped. And by the way, just to point out one more time, see that rigatoni, right? See, at least, we learned from the morning. So some of our players were buying the faux show bro VWAP break earlier. And what did I tell you? Get the hell out of it all before you get chopped and turned into a loss. At least that one, hope you'll listen to my words of encouragement there, because my losses are your gains. Everything that I've done wrong in my life, they wrote books about it. And if you don't have the copy, I'll give it to you if you come to the website. And by the way, speaking of that, everything's going to be free next week. And hopefully we don't have a repeat of today. I know today's usually it's a one-off. We've been having a pretty damn good year. This day, not good. Again, most of it self-induced disasters. The trades actually did work. I just chose to add and get hammered. But there is a book written about all these things, and it's called Why Traders Fail. And if you want a copy of it, join my website, and I will give you a free copy. It's probably the best book ever written about trading. Not a joke, really is. It's a very short book. All your favorite traders in it. Dennis Dick, J.C. Peretz, Kenny Glick, and much, much more. And it's just stories about all of our terrible trades and what we did wrong. And when you read it, it's basically every mistake you'll ever make. And it's in a book. And it's a great read, just to know that you're not alone. And what was my trade today? I guess you would call it, I don't even know what this disaster would be called. Over trading? Not really. Maybe over aggression. I would just call it straying from the path. I went and did things that I don't normally do, and I paid for it. And it's hard to get out of your own. It's hard, on a day like today. And this is in the book also. You try to fight back. There are days where you're going to just keep losing. Today's that day. There's nothing going on. So you're fighting a losing battle. Art of war, if the battle is already lost, why fight? Don't fight. You have to now retreat, regroup, and come back stronger. Learn from your lesson, learn your lesson, lick your wounds, come back stronger. You don't keep pushing on a day like today. As much as I'd like to try to make my money back and get revenge on some of these names that have wronged me, that's not how trading works. They'll get you again, and you'll just make it worse. And you just got to own it. You got to eat it, right? And that's part of trading. You got to just accept it, that there are days where you're just going to get smoked. And like I said, it's a combination of a choppy market and me choosing the worst day to get aggressive, probably of the year. I mean, it really is the worst day to get aggressive today. By the way, speaking of UVXY not going up, it's just another indication that inevitably today, you see how the market got aggressively sold off. But on a day like today, these aggressive sell-offs are buys. But then when you get excited about being long, you have to sell today. See, now I'm on the verge of doing some other dumb shit. Star Trek Next Generation, all of it. What, Picard? Yeah. Still talking about Star Trek. You want to see what I have? I have the one of something that nobody has. You want to see something that nobody has? Ah! Almost broke my plaque. You guys know about my plaque when I was in the record industry. I'll show you something nobody has. You can't even find this. This is Amigo. Remember Amigos? The salt vampire. Remember it was a hot chick and then she'd touch your face and suck all the salt out of your body? Yes. Now we're going down Nerd Highway. Let's go. So, okay, it actually is happening. So I was thinking about doing some more dumb shit today. You know, I'm not, I guess I didn't get my fill. So I was talking about this stock, right? It did the faux show, bro, the faux show, bro, the faux show. It was consolidating at VWAP. I just missed the move that I was planning on getting involved in. But you see how it just got back to the top of the range? If it consolidates between VWAP and the top of this range, even though it's a huge candle, and then it breaks, you're probably going to run for the highs of the day. And when these pump and dump run after being dumped, all the people that got short get rehammered. And if you see this stock above $11.14, you could be well on your way to another squeeze, which could take you, look at this. That's around where it broke down from. That's 13.5. And then you'll be in this mess. That's, you know, right smack dab in the middle of that mess. That's 1550. I don't know what's up with engine number 9, but let's make sure it's not a takeover. There. I don't even know what it is. If there's 2 names for the company, I don't even know what this is. But anyway, well, I don't care what it is exactly, but that's some crazy looking chart. Looks like a SPAC that went nuts, crashed, died, rolled over. Andy Dufresne. So, you know, I'm mildly interested. Keep an eye on it because, you know, when the pump and dumps don't get dumped, and it was on the verge of being dumped and they came back and bought it. That was what was intriguing about it. And now you got a VWAP break. So, you know, no harm in watching it for a while. You know, just missed the move I wanted to take. I would have sold most of it, and then I put a stop at VWAP. Let's see if we get a chance at it again, back under 9. But like I said, not much going on, very choppy, and it's a good day to just say, you know what, it ain't happening. Star Trek is good to watch. I don't know. I just found it this morning. It was just ripping on the percentage gain or high volume list. But I got to say something. I hope we don't have any days like this too often. Oof. I'm actually just kind of scared now because we're doing an open house next week. Hope we don't have a day like, you know. But that's what it is. I mean, you have to address reality. You want to live in a delusion where you think every day is awesome. Reality is today. And you got to be able to make it through today. I made it 10 times worse by adding size in the worst possible places. But, you know, again, now this QQQ trade long could possibly save the whole day, right? You got your faux show. Maybe you'll actually get a follow through to the upside. If anybody's long the Qs, you just got quadruple faux shows. So, but on a good day, you'd already be breaking the orange line and ripping. Today's not that day. There's no follow through. right? So that's why if you're a buyer on faux shows, you're a seller at VWAP, like these guys were. You consolidated, you got a new level, and then you got back to the prior level. There's the seller again. Consolidates above VWAP, makes another run. You probably will get orange line and possibly start breaking highs of the day. But my style, the trading style that I normally use 99% of the time, I don't mind a choppy day because I'm usually taking the quick hits anyway. See, in a day like today also, normally what's my complaint? Oh man, I can't believe I sold this thing. Oh, it's going up without me. Much better complaint than getting hammered on everything, right? So much better complaint taking the $600 and should have been a $2,000 trade. In this case, I should have took the $600 and they've turned into $2,000 losses and more on each one of my trades. But right now, if you're long the Qs, looking a lot better than it did for the last couple of hours. But I would suggest, again, same scenario. You got to take profits. Make sure you got a tight stop on. Don't get chopped up. Lily all-time highs. Yeah, we got some fans of the Lily on our website. And that was after they got hammered too, right? Remember they were giving up on Lily and there was all this stuff and it dropped 300 points. Right? Didn't it fall back to like 5 something? Oh, 6, low 6s. Unbelievable. By the way, that's we were talking about this the other day. That's a faux show, bro, also. So this pattern, the reason I love it, it works on all time frames. They shake them out, gets back above the shakeout. And then if you have a, in this case, this is a yearly VWAP. Think of it as the 1 minute. Faux show, bro, VWAP, yearly VWAP break, and it ripped. Yeah, pretty awesome. All right, who wants to get jiggy with this piece of shit? I don't know. They start flashing some big size on the offer. I might be interested. So let me explain what I just said. ENGN, right? When I was a market maker back in 1997, if you wanted to be on the box, you had to represent size, right? So we'd go, you wanted to buy some ENGN, you'd go high bid, 9 7/8, and you'd want 20, you wanted 2,000 shares, you put 20 on your box. 9 7/8, you raised your hand. I would like to buy some at 9 7/8. Somebody would probably jump in front of you at 10 and the stock would start going up. But you meant it. You went high bid because you were looking to buy. Now you get a bunch of nonsense and algorithmic spoofing. So when you see a big bid building, it's no longer as simple as that idea of, oh, they're bidding the stock. That means there's some buyers out there. Now they're trying to screw with you. So when a stock's got some momentum, what I like to see now is I like when they stack the offers because I know there's a game being played now. They try to pretend that there's an overhead supply when momentum's about to kick in. And then you'll see if you have a scanner that scans for big blocks in the dark pool like I do. So I'll be looking at, when I see the big size on the offer, I look to see if they're buying the blocks. And then I know it's a spoof. And then I just join in by buying the offer. And usually that creates momentum. So like right now, I love them to stack some offers to try to pretend. You don't see any. The 2s and the 5s and the 20s. I'm talking about when they start throwing triple digits here. And it looks like they've got 1 million shares for sale. And then you see it all get bought. And then they jump to the bid. Stock's about to take off. And that's just one of those things that I've learned just from watching the market makers over the last 20, 30 years. A lot of what they do now is to fake people out and to pretend. It's a lot of spoofing out there. especially when high frequency trading and the algorithms took over the market. There's more and more of it now. These fat finger trades, I think they're real. You know, we've been seeing them go to these bad prints almost every day. We're seeing it now. But the big size on the bid, big size on the offer thing, it's been a transition. It was maybe 20% of the time it would work, and then it became like 40%. Now it's over 50% of the time, which now you have to take it seriously. And, you know, you won't see it all the time, but a lot of times with these pump and dumps, like, here, let's go find another one that's up big. PUBM. There he is. So this guy's, he's saying he's got 50,000 shares for sale, right? It's probably a buyer, right? So now I don't jump in. Stock's already up 40%. But what I look for now, and again, if this thing wasn't up 40%, then be a little bit more excited. But watch. You'll start to see they'll eat away at it. But the idea is that when people think tape reading is still a thing, the tape reader it's a rational trade. You're looking for big bids, you're looking for momentum based on what the market makers are doing. Now it's just a spoof. It's all a game. So big size on the offer when you got a stock that's strong, it's usually a buyer. By the way, ENGN doesn't look so bad. They're buying it here. Let's see if we get a little follow through. I was hoping this shows they would flash some big size here. I'm not even seeing anything in the dark pools. Nothing's really going on. And again, it's a different, this day is not conducive for anything right now. This day is a choppy freaking mess. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, seriously, there are just days where you go watch a movie, go watch some Star Trek, do whatever you got to do to get the hell away from the desk. And listen, I'm addicted. There's nothing. The only thought in my head right now is load up on ENGN just now. There you go. All right. Now, if I was you, sell right here at 35, sold, 38, sold. Don't not take the money, especially after I just described how freaking awful this day is. All right, now you're getting paid if you bought it at 10. Sell some 35, 38. Now put your stop at 10. And if you have a little bit more wiggle room, they just flashed some big size at 10.50. That's good. If we get 10.50 bid, we're going to $11. We got to get 10.50 on the bid. They just flashed some big size at 10.50. Now you want to see this guy flip. We're doing ENGN right now. I haven't seen any blocks being bought, but so far so good on a little consolidation break there. But again, remember, this day stinks. Take the money. If you sold some at 38, good job. I'm not even entertaining the idea of letting it go below 10 without selling the rest, right? Don't fuck around. You can't let anything go against you today because it turns into a disaster. Nobody here, nobody here, nobody here. No, I don't even see this stock. Nobody's buying this thing. Well, at least you got something out of it and gone. And she's gone. Let's do it again. Let me try it again. Okay, hang on a second. If it goes back to 950, might have to do it again. But wait, while I was sitting here, all right, I don't know if you got paid on that, but yippee-ki-yay, made some money. You see that guy right there? I'm waiting to see if I see PUBM for a 50,000 share block in the dark pools now. Hey, by the way, this stock finally paid us, right? You got paid a little bit. Congrats. it's worked a bunch of times now. So now if it consolidates, if it still if they hammer it and it goes back to the 950 and holds VWAP, you should think about doing it again. And with this type of stock, right? And again, I don't know anything about this thing. I found it this morning. Because it hit 1114, it blew the top off, pre-market high break, then it rolled. You break them back 1114 later today, you're looking at 1250, possibly, that 1385 area. See, that's how I normally trade. See how nice? You buy stock at 10, you sell some at 1038, you sell the rest at 1002, and it's okay. Now I can live to tell the tale. See? It's just, I don't know. I just chose poorly this morning. I should leave on a high note, right? Just drop the mic right there. I actually made something on a trade. Ooh. I just need like 18 more of those now. What are you guys looking at? You guys looking at anything? You guys got any questions before I go? Because I really need to run. I'm actually going to go for a run, screaming down the block. I'm going to take my dog for a long walk. I maybe should have thought it out. Do I want to be aggressive where it's not a full, like a real day? I didn't even think of that. I did a lot of shit wrong today. Anybody have any specific questions before I hit the road? You guys know about next week? You guys know about Thursday? Thursday night, we're having a big schmooze. And if the powers that be, my corporate overlords, I hope you realize that you might be promoting it. So we're kicking off our open house next week, Monday through Friday. The first 2 hours of the day are going to be free, open house. We're starting Thursday night. Thing is, the schmooze is in my other website, where it's a lot easier to get people to go to because I don't need usernames and passwords. It's just one password. And I was thinking about that last night. Mary, if you're out there listening, or Spencer, yeah, you guys better figure that out, because I don't know if you know, or if you were planning to split it into two sites, that might confuse the newbie. And if we're doing the schmooze in the regular section, you better figure out how to make sure we can get people on mic, because that's been a very difficult endeavor for some reason, just to invite my guests and get them to log in and give them mic privileges. All right, you ready? Let's do that trade again. Hang on a second. I might do it again. Anybody's watching this thing, see that big size guy? He's hiding out there somewhere. But let's go back to ENGN for a second. So anyway, let me just finish my thought. So Thursday night, we're getting together. I don't know who our guest might be. I think we'll get Don Corleone on again, and possibly an old friend of mine. Surprise guest. Maybe get Brian Shannon, actually. It'd be a good time to get him on. So Thursday nights, we used to get together. If you guys don't know, Thursday nights we get together. And it was born kind of like right before COVID. kind of weekly options exploration. We'd prepare for what we wanted to do the night before, plan our attack, plan out which options we're going to be buying, because that was when weeklies were kind of fresh and new. And it was good game planning. And then COVID hit. We had nothing else to do on a Friday or Thursday night. And then we started inviting guests, and it became a thing. So it's a nice, good way to meet me and my friend Solid. He usually does the late night session. Put on some Grateful Dead to get the party started. A couple hours of charting and talking about options. I've been talking a little bit more about futures lately because it's been great to trade futures lately. If you're not trading futures with VWAP, you should. And then Friday we get to business, talking, hopefully putting all the trades that we prepare to do. This Thursday night, let's see, we're still right in the middle of earnings season, so it should be fairly busy. Let's see, Thursday night, who is reporting? My old-time favorite stock, AMAT. AMAT, RCAT, TMC. Not as many big names as I was hoping. So Thursday, that's after the close. Let's see who reports that morning. Disney, JD, Billy. Let's see, and Friday morning, not much. Yeah, we'll talk about the ones that are worth talking about. If you don't know anything about options, it's a good little intro to options I give you. And just a good idea. It's, again, it's nice to look at charts when things aren't moving, so then you can really appreciate, what you're looking at without having to maneuver around. And then Friday, it's all about options usually. And then the following week, every day, you'll have a username and a password, and you'll be able to hang with us. And then you must conjure up the presence of one Solid Jello, who is a treat when he shows up, because he's taken all this stuff and the red lines that I draw for pivot points, he's got it algorithmically drawn for you. It's something to behold. He's really taken what I showed him 10 years ago and created a great setup. And he's building it for all kinds of platforms now. So Thinkorswim, TradingView. And it's the guide. It's the roadmap to success. And it's all VWAP based. And if you're into coding, get to meet Solid Jello, take a session with him, and you will be in coding heaven. Rumble, yeah. Actually, the other day, it was having a nice day, right? On the earnings report. Yeah. No, I'm just a day trader now. I mean, I don't really have any positions on. Even that open trade, as much as I wanted to own it over the weekend, I didn't. It was a nice trade. I came in the next day, which was yesterday, and got involved in the faux show, bro. I'm not swinging trading. I don't own stocks. Oh yeah, I haven't even told that story. So let me tell you why I'm a bear. I'm not bearish because I want the market to go down. I like when the market goes down because we possess a skill where we can make money on the way down. So I lean bearish because I'd rather the market be volatile. I don't like days like Monday, yesterday, where we just gap. There's not much to do. And really, and if you guys seen the movie There Will Be Blood, I have a very, very competitive nature. I don't want other people to succeed, as he says in the movie, right? And I feel that, right? I want my crew it's as if we're in a war, right? And I've got my army, you know, I guess you could call me the king. And then I got my second king now because he's been elevated. He could be my queen. Gay. Well, he could be my enforcer, actually. Solid would be my enforcer. And I believe we can go into any battle with any bunch of traitors and thwart them and take their land and put our flag up where their flag used to be, and then take their women. It's a very competitive sport to me, right? So the reason I like being bearish is that I don't want Cathie Wood to thrive. I don't want analysts who I know really don't know what they're doing. Oh, they have an MBA. Sure, great. My cousin has an MBA, can't find a job. MBA, right. But I know the game is rigged. I know every scam there is. And I was born into the worst part of the industry. I was born into the shady stock market, stockbroker, boiler room. So I was jaded right away. I didn't want to believe how criminal everybody was. And it was very eye-opening how devious and diabolical some of these guys were that I met. Literally, they knew they were committing crimes, and that they got off on that. And I never was that guy. Even when I was a broker, I tried to be the guy. I would try to buy stocks that I was interested in and pitch those stocks. And, obviously I was told to sell the schlocky house stocks or the boiler room stocks. So I was really jaded, really then I learned about market making in, 97, 98. And there was just some, shenanigans in the market making. Obviously, you know about that, right? And then I learned, and then I would watch, because I was a market maker and I was watching the level 2 all the time, I started seeing the absolute fraud of upgrades and downgrades. So when a stock was going up, obviously all the upgrades start coming, right? And then I would start to see, for instance, if you guys remember BlackBerry, it was a very specific moment because I was long the stock and it got upgraded. And I'm thinking, all right, good. And then all day, I see Morgan Stanley on the box. So quick trivia question, or not trivia, but if you're a buyer, right, you're telling other people to buy it. You put a buy recommendation on the stock. Let's say the stock was 11. You say it's going to 18 bucks. It's a pretty bold prediction, right? What do you think Morgan Stanley should be doing that day, right? They just announced that they love the stock and they think it's going up 80% from here. What do you think you should see? Where should you see Morgan Stanley on the box? On the bid side or on the offer side? You should know the answer to this. As I explained before, when you raise your hand as a market maker, you're looking up. I'll give you the answer. I'll give you 2 seconds to answer. Somebody answer. What happened? Oh. Well, the answer is the bid side. They should be going high bid because they just said, hey, we think the stock's going to 18 bucks. Here it is at 11. They should be high bid, looking to buy. High bid, looking to buy. High bid, looking to buy. But where was Morgan Stanley all day? Where was Morgan Stanley all day on his buy recommendation? He's on the offer. Selling into any strength. Completely against what he's saying. So we had Bloomberg terminals at the time, and you could directly get to the specific guy. So we called him up. And it was kind of like Vin Diesel when I put him on hold, and I was like, watch, I'll tell you what he's going to say. He's going to say he's got specific clients with different time frames, and they're taking advantage. Watch. Hey, how you doing? Kenny Glick from SchlockTrading.com. Yeah, Schlock Trading. You heard of us? Cool. Yeah, listen, we got a large position in BlackBerry. We read your report this morning. Very bullish. We're with you. But we can't help to notice that you're on the offer all day, selling the shit out of the stock. So what's the story here? Wait, before you answer, let me tell you what the story is. You probably got a seller out there, right, who wanted out. So you upgraded the stock to cushion the blow of the size that he wanted to get out of today. Well, it's really not like that, sir. Or whatever he said to me, Kenny. Each of our clients they're taking advantage of the strength that you created because their time frame is different from what your analysts believe, right? That's right. And I'm like, no, but that's a bunch of bullshit. You upgraded the stock to help that guy get out of the position. Click. And they hung up. And then I saw it happen again, did the same thing. Oh, let me guess. Oh, you got a client, right, who wants to blah, 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 blah. No, that's bullshit. You upgraded the stock to cushion the blow because you had a guy that wanted to get out of size without hurting the stock. Click. I'm on to something. And if you watch now, as we started to watch for the last 15, 20 years, watch. You can't see Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs because now they hide behind the ECNs. But before they changed all these to ECNs, you actually saw Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, MH Myers. You saw all these market makers, and you kind of got a feel for who was the bidder and the offer. And we started to notice that when you saw upgrades, the upgrading company tended to be on the offer, selling into the strength that they created with their bullshit upgrade. And then inevitably the stock would end up down for the day. And at first it was a conspiracy theory. And then we started to notice it all the time. And again, some analysts actually did go to school to learn how to crunch the numbers, to put out honest recommendations because of that's what their job is. I would say 80% of them are doing it with dubious, nefarious, diabolical plans because this is Wall Street and that's all it's about. So that lends into this idea that these market makers are still trying to fool you on these bids and offers. But again, the reason I'm so jaded and so cynical is because of everything I've witnessed. So my way of getting through that is I'm just bearish. I'm just bearish. Bearish keeps me focused. And if you haven't noticed, 9 out of 10 stocks stink, right? I don't want to hear it. It might not be 7 stocks that are running this bull market for the last 20 years. It's 120 of them. There's 120 really, really good stocks that control the entire market. After that, every stock is dog shit. And even the good ones, they run out of steam eventually. Like, look at this stock. Fiserv, wow, right? It was on a 10-year run. 10-year run, this bad boy. 10-year run. To give it back in 6 months, you just wasted 10 years of your life. That's kind of what I get involved in. Stocks that do that. And by the way, just as early as this SRAD trade, when did the stock stop? Nobody said a word about it. And then it got upgraded here, here, and here, and the stock has not recovered since. They had ulterior motives. So as far as me being bearish, it's just that I don't own stocks. And I don't like Cathie Wood, and I don't like people that can just throw out buy recommendations and have the stock go up, and they get rewarded, right? Like Tom Lee, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but if you keep saying the market never goes down and the market never goes down, you're a genius. When I say it, nobody gives a shit, but when he says it, Genius! Look at him go. Oh my God, what's wrong with the market today? Oh, Tom Lee must have seen a shadow. It's like the guy's right all the time. No joke, because the market never goes down. Congratulations. Fucking genius. Let's give it up for Tom Lee one more time, everybody. Tom Lee. Amazing. Incredible talent right there. Wow. So what's he, I mean, every time he's on an interview, market's going to go up. Market's going to go up. Say something different, Tom. Come on. Show us like you got some skill here. Like, change your tune. So it's kind of why I'm bearish, because I don't want other people to succeed. It's a competition. That's why some of the best years I've had was when the market went nowhere. 2018, 2021. This year has been all right, but nothing compared to those years where we go nowhere and we're the only ones making money. I like that. Or when we actually have a down year, if that ever happens again, I don't think we're ever going to have a down year ever again. Seriously. I think down now will be up 12.5%. That'll be the new down. And that's my explanation. And by the way, they worked through that size on the offer, but it really wasn't that big buyer showing up. You see how it was still a buyer, and now that 84 guys on the bid, yeah, they worked the order. Suffice it to say, it wasn't a seller. You know, they ate them up. It just usually it's in one big gulp, and the stock starts to rip. That's the difference today, where this market's kind of just sluggish and choppy. And on that note, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to leave off with my $222 I made on ENGN. So now I'm only down $400,000 for the day. Just awful. All right. Namaste. And I will see you on the flip side. Good to hear your voice, my friend. Good luck. You too, bro. See ya. Later. See you guys when I see you. Be careful. Don't get chopped up. And I'm now going to finally get it from the desk. I'm sure a full-blown rally will ensue, and every stock will be up 20% when I get back. Congratulations. Yeah, see, Jeff knows what I'm talking about. He's like, yeah, please leave. So this market could go up. I mean, it's actually starting already. And look, it was another fake out, shake out, VWAP, bop. There you go. I mean, look, I mean, they are working. It's just you got to take your profit, raise your stop, and rinse and repeat. All right. So now the real move of the market will happen as soon as I shut my computer, I'm sure. If I didn't laugh, I'd be crying. You're crying. And we get to do this all over again tomorrow. All right. Hopefully we don't have any more days like today. Or me, personally. See ya I'll see you later tonight. Wait, today's still only Tuesday. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you get registered for all the stuff. So Thursday night's going to be a good one. See if I get my DJ to show up. Should be a good party. And if you're long in the queues, of course we're going up. Market doesn't go down anymore. All right. See ya.